Can you believe 2 weeks ago we had snow? Now look, just beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's nice outside. My parents are out. You can come round to mine if you like.
I would, but I don't know how I'd get there. I need a lift and my parents are out too.
Do you think all our parents are out together? Mine were gone when I woke up. No message, nothing.
They can't all be together. I mean, they would have told us, right?
Nah, my mum would have just gone to the shops. It's just a coincidence.
Well, me and mine, we're supposed to go furniture shopping today. Like, there's no reason that they would have just left me here.
Do you think we should call someone? Like I said, they were already gone when I came back. I mean, I don't know if they left anything or if they've taken anything, but I could go check if that helps.
Yes, if you could do that now.
All right, give me 1 sec then. These were on the kitchen table. Why would they have left their wedding rings?
Are they definitely wedding rings? Please could you describe the rings you found?
They're plain, kind of gold.
My parents had left their rings as well.
Could you all please go and check if your parents have also left their wedding rings?
There's 2. Both my parents' rings are here.
But is that something to note?
It should be. My dad's dead.
And that's it for the witness reports?
Yes, I couldn't believe it. All of their wedding rings were there. I mean, that's more than a coincidence, right? Or are they just messing with us?
Doesn't that sound like that case from a few years back, the jewellery store robbery?
Which one?
The one where they took nothing but 10 rings.
Aye, I remember that one. They went through all the trouble to break in. They didn't trip the alarm, but they only took the rings. No cash, no other jewellery, just the rings. They were never recovered.
Well, I've got 10 rings locked up in evidence now.
Why would Dora's mum get her dad's rings out? He's been dead for so long.
Not just his dad's rings. All of our parents have done it. This doesn't make any sense.
Did any of you get to have a chance to look at the rings before the police took them?
Yeah, why?
Well, I'm sure when I was looking at it, I saw some kind of engraving in the band.
Yeah.
ARB.
Yeah.
ARB?
Oh, I didn't get a chance to look at mine.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if all this time our parents were in like some sort of cult?
Yeah, like a gang.
Yeah, the 10-ring crew.
Nah. 10-ring bandits.
They can't be the same ones, can they? That was 10 years ago.
Today.
What?
10 years ago today. Look at the police report.
I know, I wrote it. The 10-ring bandits, right?
Stupid name. Is that what they called them?
I called them that.
Come on, we need to carry on.
ARB?
What do you mean, ARB?
Look at the ring. It's engraved on the band.
It's on these as well. It's on all of them.
We need to interview those kids again.
It was really sad.
They actually never found out what happened.
Dora was never the same after that.
Don't you think it's weird that Mum left Dad's ring as well?
I mean, I guess it's weird, but she has always kept his ring.
Don't you remember when we all used to go camping and I think you were 10 or so at the time and we used to just lay out and look at the stars and none of us wanted to get any sleep. It was just so peaceful there. Just the 4 of us.
You always were his little star.
I wish we could go back there. It was much simpler back then.
One day we'll make it back there.
Oh yeah? When?
it's just not the right time now. You know, busy with uni, mum's always working.
Cauliflower.
You just say cauliflower.
Yep. I eat it now. Dad always wanted me to.
Look, I suppose we could move some things around. Would be nice to get away for a bit.
Nah, you want to speak to, what's their name?
Who?
Them, up the shambles.
Oh, Gibbs.
Yeah, that's them.
Gibbs?
Yeah, they run a modest little store. Nothing major, but they do well for themselves.
2 girls run it. We've got one here and another in Leeds or Huddersfield. I can never remember which.
And you think they'll be able to help identify this engraving?
Should do. We never sold anything like that before. We don't do second hand.
Any other jewellers will be able to help much either.
Why is that?
Well, for starters, the hell mark seems very specific. ARB.
Well, thank you for your time. Good afternoon, Detective Sergeant Miller. I spoke with you earlier on the phone. I'm hoping you can help me identify these rings. Or more specifically, tell me what the engraving on them and the band means.
Let me see those. ARB.
Do you recognise this engraving?
I do, but we don't produce ARBs anymore. I don't think we have for 10 years now.
So you produce these rings?
Well, not me specifically. I imagine my parents are the ones who produce these rings. Me and my sister run their stores now. We have one here and one in Leeds.
Why don't you produce these rings anymore then?
Well, my parents were robbed. Must have been 9 or 10 years ago now. Bit of a strange one, really.
How so?
Well, they didn't realise they'd been robbed for a few days. My dad was taking inventory when he realised there was 10 rings missing.
Rings like these?
Yeah, they were all the same design. It was only after spending hours going through CCTV footage did they even realise they'd been robbed.
Did anyone ever recover the stolen rings?
No, but to be fair, we got the smaller amount back through the insurance company.
Small amount?
The rings weren't worth very much. They were kind of like a budget line we had. Of everything they could have stolen, somehow managed to pick the least expensive ones.
Do you think these are the rings that were taken?
I mean, they could be. They all have the ARB engravings. I doubt there's any real way of knowing. But if you stumbled across 10 ARB rings, I'd say the odds of them being these rings are pretty high.
Well, thank you for your time. Oh, and one more thing. You said the rings don't hold any explicit value. What does ARB stand for? I mean, is there any significance to the branding?
Well, I don't know about the specific letters, but my parents used to tell us that the rings provided like a spiritual bond to those who wore it. They only sold them in pairs. The ARB rings were a sign of trust and aspiration, a desire to do more, to be more, but do it together. They liked the idea that pretty much anyone could buy the ARBs. Ironic that they were all stolen in the end.
Thank you. Again, if you ever think of anything else, don't hesitate to get in touch.
Ma'am, all we're asking for is a little bit more time.
You've mishandled this case from the start.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I didn't know what we were dealing with at first. It just seemed like a missing persons case.
And now?
Well,
We're still not sure what we're dealing with, ma'am.
I expected as much with you two involved.
But we have a lead, boss. Miller's come back from contacting some of the local jewellers, and we've got a match.
I thought you said this was a missing person case.
I did. I mean, it is, but there's something else to it.
Do you remember the 10-ring bandits?
The what?
They were this group, stole a bunch of rings, 10 years back. Well,
We think the missing persons case is connected to the robbery from 10 years ago.
It's true, ma'am. Miller seems to have all the rings and think they were recovered today from the homes of the ones that were stolen.
I think you're reaching, but see if you can make it stick. How old are these kids?
Oldest is 17 and youngest is about 16.
Good, we can interview them without needing parental consent. Where are they now?
At their rooms, ma'am.
Okay, radio Miller and take Bishop. I want them watched at all times. All times, do you understand?
Yes, boss.
Station 1 CI at each residence and get the officer to bring their suspect to the station when called.
Suspect, ma'am.
Miller seems to think this is all connected somehow. Until we find out otherwise, I want each of these kids treated as a suspect, or at least their parents. See what you can get out of them on tape in this station. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Star. Sorry we haven't spoken a few months. I haven't stopped thinking of you. I never do. I know probably when you woke up this morning you're a bit confused, and I know you're a smart girl and you'll do just how we planned. Everyone's safe, just like always. Not got a graze on me. I've done something you won't be too happy with though. I've shaved my beard. I know you always love that stupid thing. Everything will be okay when I see you soon. I hope you and your sister been eating that cauliflower like we said. Me and Mum are waiting now. Remember the place we told you about? See you soon, gorgeous. Love you lots.